Good evening and welcome to our community members in the gallery that are joining us tonight and those that are watching us via the live stream for this annual council meeting of the 18th of November 2025. Thank you to all of you for joining us. I'm Glenn Patterson. I'm the Chief Executive Officer here at the City of Casey, and in accordance with Section 25(3) of the Local Government Act 2020 and in accordance with the City of Casey's governance rules, I am appointed chairperson for the opening of this meeting. I would also like to acknowledge the councillors present tonight and our members of the executive team. Jen Bednar, our Director, Customer and Corporate Services, Catherine Surlis, our Director, City Planning and Infrastructure, and Steve Coldham, our Director, Community Life. We're also supported this evening by governance officers and our audio-visual team, and we have a number of other senior staff present from Council, so welcome one and all. The annual Council meeting is a special Council meeting convened for the specific purpose of electing the Mayor and the Deputy Mayor and to determine Council's governance structure for the coming year. As this is a special Council meeting, public questions are not considered tonight. We appreciate your understanding and encourage community members to submit questions to be addressed at an upcoming ordinary Council meeting or to reach out to your ward councillor directly. To the statement of acknowledgement, the City of Casey proudly acknowledges the traditional owners, Casey's Aboriginal communities and their rich culture, and pays respects to their elders past, present and future. We acknowledge Aboriginal people as Australia's first peoples and as the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we work and live. The diversity statement. The City of Casey is home to a remarkable diversity of cultures, languages, faiths, identities, landscapes and stories. From our first Australians to our most recent arrivals and every wave between, the City of Casey welcomes and represents all community members and their respective ambitions to live healthy, rewarding and happy lives. These intersecting and overlapping community stories form Casey's collective identity and contribute to its evolving, rich history. We recognise this diversity as our strength and we aim to share, nurture and celebrate it. To conflicts of interest. I have considered my obligations under Section 130 of the Local Government Act 2020 and do not have a conflict of interest relevant to the agenda papers. Do any councillors have any conflicts of interest in the agenda that they wish to declare? There are none. Do any council officers have a conflict of interest regarding reports presented this evening? And we have none. We'll move to item 3, which is the confirmation of minutes. There was one previous meeting minutes to be confirmed, and that is for the council meeting held on the 21st of October 2025. Is there a mover and seconder to confirm the minutes of the meeting? Firstly, a mover. Councillor Walter has moved and seconded Councillor Pereira. Are there any objections? If not, I'll put the matter to the vote. If you could raise your hands. All those in favour? Against? And that motion is carried unanimously. We move to item 4.2, election of the Mayor. Item 4.2 is the receipt. Oh, sorry, sorry, you're right. 4.1, my apologies for that. Item 4.1 is the term of office for the Mayor and the Deputy Mayor. And I'd now like to invite Ms. Chloe Casey, our Manager Communications and Corporate Governance, to present this report. Thanks, Ms. Casey.
Thank you and good evening, councillors. The Local Government Act 2020 allows for councils to determine the term of office for its Mayor and Deputy Mayor. The term of office needs to be determined prior to undertaking the election of the Mayor. While the Act allows for the provision of appointing a 2-year mayoral term, the most common model across Victorian councils is to adopt a 1-year mayoral term to allow for regular leadership rotation. Officers are therefore recommending that Council determine a 1-year term of office for the Mayor and Deputy Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Casey. Are there any questions from councillors about that recommendation or report? There are none. I'm looking for a mover to move that recommendation. Councillor Rowe has moved, seconded Councillor Taylor. Are there any objections? I'll ask all of those in favour. please raise your hands. Against? That motion again is carried unanimously. Now we move to the most important thing. I was just getting a bit excited and ahead of myself. 4.2, election of the Mayor. Item 4.2 is the receipt of nominations for the election of the Mayor, and I will now call for nominations for the office of Mayor. Could I please ask for any nominations? Councillor Dizon.
Through you, Mr. Patterson, I'd like to nominate Councillor Stephen Cooman for the position of Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Dizon. Councillor Cooman, do you accept that nomination?
Yes, I accept that nomination. Thank you.
Terrific. Do I have a seconder for that nomination? Councillor Pereira?
Thank you. I'll second that motion. Thank you.
Thank you. That's seconded by Councillor Pereira, that Councillor Cooman be nominated as the Mayor of the City of Casey for the year 2025-26. Are there any further nominations? There are no further nominations. I'm going to put that to the vote. All those in favour? I won't read out the names of councillors because I see all hands raised. That is unanimous, and I declare that carried, and congratulate Councillor Cooman. So now ask Councillor Cooman to resume the chair. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for that, for the trust you've placed in me. I wasn't going to get emotional, but here we go. I had a speech prepared, but look, I just want to say it's been an incredibly challenging but rewarding year for us as a councillor group, and I think we should be proud of where we're at. It's been what we've faced in terms of having to learn everything as a new councillor group, the historical issues that we've had to tackle early on while doing that, and all while under monitors for the first 12 months. I think we all know that it's not a normal year. It hasn't been anything but normal, but it's been rewarding, and it's been an incredibly it's been an incredible honour to lead the group, and I want to say thank you for the support and the trust you've placed in me to be Mayor again in this second year. I think we've got a lot of development still to go, but importantly, we've been a united and a functioning group, and I think that's what our council needed. So I hope to be able to take that on in the second year, work with everyone and build on that culture that we've created as a councillor group. So thank you very much for all your support. I would like to thank a few people, particularly I'd like to thank the Deputy Mayor. I'm really bad at this. Melinda's been such a rock for me this year through all the difficult times. I actually don't know how you do it, Mel. Like the time and commitment that you've put in is incredible, and it sets a standard. But I think it really shows what can be achieved when you put your mind to it. And you've been really supportive, so thank you for that. I'd also like to just thank all the councillor group. This year, the amount of time you've all put in is extraordinary. It goes well beyond the allowances that we receive, the years that the multiple nights per week that we meet. So I just wanted to acknowledge that and say thank you. I'd also like to thank my family, and particularly my wife, for all her support. I really will break down, so I might just leave it at that. But yeah, no, I just wanted to thank everyone for their support and everyone who's joined us here this evening. So that's it from me. I will now move on to the next item, which is 4.3. Just got to collect my agenda.
It was there.
I'll just...
That was actually where it was. Let's track it on there. These
Sorry,
pages
Graham.
are on, but that's all right.
Here we go.
4.2, there we
All right, 4.3, election of the Deputy Mayor. Item 4.3 is the receipt of nominations for the election of Deputy Mayor. So I'll now call for nominations for the office of Deputy Mayor. Do we have any nominations? Councillor Ambrose.
Through you, Mayor, congratulations. I would like to nominate Councillor Michelle Crowther for the role.
Thank you, Councillor Ambrose. Councillor Crowther, do you accept that nomination?
Through you, Mayor, yes, I do.
Thank you, Councillor Crowther. Do we have a seconder for the nomination of Councillor Crowther? Councillor Walter? We have a seconder. Thank you. Do we have any other nominations for Deputy Mayor? No further nominations. Thank you all. As a result, I now declare Councillor Crowther that... Put it to the vote. I put it to the vote, sorry. I have to put it to the vote. Can I ask all councillors to raise their hands in favour of Councillor Crowther as the Deputy Mayor? That is unanimous. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Councillor Crowther. Councillor Crowther, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. It's an honour to be elected to serve as your Deputy Mayor. I'd like to thank my fellow councillors for their support and trust in me. I promise I will continue to work hard, support the councillor group to achieve goals, especially achieving the great outcomes for the Casey community, which is the most important reason why we're all here. Secondly, I'd like to acknowledge the leadership of Councillor Ambrose and as Deputy Mayor over the last year through, yes, some tough times, and her dedication and leadership is greatly appreciated. I'd like to also thank our friends and family who are here tonight. It has been a challenging year and we appreciate your support, especially when the times have been tough. A special shout out to my husband and children who are hopefully watching online tonight. This councillor role is a family effort and I appreciate all of their support this year. A highlight of the year that has been is meeting so many amazing community volunteers and groups over the last year, and I hope now as Deputy Mayor I'll get to meet even more groups and together we can help the Casey community to thrive. Lastly, to our residents, I assure you that this councillor group has you at the heart of everything we do. We are all local residents too, and we are your voice. So we will continue to listen, advocate and deliver what is important to you. So thanks again to the councillor group and I look forward to serving as Deputy Mayor. Thank you.
Well done. Well done. You held it together much better than I. Thank you, Councillor Crowther. We'll now move on to item 4.4, which is the adoption of the 2026 council meeting dates. And to introduce that report, we've got Ms Chloe Casey, Manager of Communications and Corporate Governance. Ms Casey.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and congratulations. As per Council's governance rules, Council must annually adopt the schedule of dates, including the time and location of Council meetings. The report outlines the dates for the monthly cycle of meetings and briefings, including the annual meeting for the mayoral election. In this report, officers are recommending to keep council meetings on the third Tuesday of the month, commencing at 6 p.m, with exceptions for the months of January, May and December. These exceptions being no meeting to be held in January, the May Council meeting being held on the fourth Tuesday to allow the submissions for the corporate suite of documents to be included, and the December meeting to be held on the second Tuesday of the month due to the proximity of Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Casey. Councillors, do we have any questions for Ms Casey? No questions. We have a recommendation on the screen. Do I have a mover and a seconder for the recommendation? Councillor Rowe moving, Councillor Pereira seconding. Is anyone speaking against the motion? No one against. We'll now put that to a vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. Carried unanimously. Thank you, councillors. All right, we'll now move on to the final report for today's special annual council meeting, and it is 4.5, which is delegate committees, and to speak to that report again is Ms Chloe Casey.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Council is required to annually appoint delegates to various associations, boards and committees to ensure council meets its legislative obligations, advocates on behalf of the Casey community and monitors the expenditure and management of funds provided by council to other organisations. This report outlines how many positions are available on each association board where relevant, a primary and secondary delegate is to be appointed, and the time commitment required throughout the year. It is recommended that council appoints delegates to the Alliance for Gambling Reform, the Audit and Risk Committee, the Australian Local Government Women's Association, the CEO Employment and Remuneration Committee, Connected Libraries, Greater South East Melbourne, Local Government Mayoral Task Force Support People Seeking Asylum Back Your Neighbour, the Metropolitan Transport Forum, the Municipal Association of Victoria, the National Growth Areas Alliance, the South East Council's Climate Change Alliance, the Victorian Local Governance Association and the Western Port Biosphere Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Casey. Councillors, do we have any questions for Ms Casey? No questions in relation to the report. So this report is slightly different to our regular ones because it requires us to nominate positions to each of those noted in the agenda item. So what we'll first do is to seek to fill each of the vacant positions as delegate primary or delegate secondary, as is shown on the screen. I'll just remind councillors that in the event that there is more than one delegate for a position, we will then go to a vote on that particular position with a short opportunity to speak if councillors wish. And then once all positions are filled or left vacant, if that's the case, then we will move the whole report as noted with the positions noted down. So on that note, there is quite a few positions to get through. So I'll start with the first association, which is the Alliance for Gambling Reform. Councillors, do we have a primary delegate to nominate? Councillor Taylor, any further nominations for primary delegate? No further nominations. We'll now move to the secondary delegate for the same association, the Alliance for Gambling Reform. Do we have a secondary delegate? Councillor Perry, any other nominations? No other nominations. We'll now move to the Audit and Risk Committee, and we have two primary delegate positions for this committee. Do we have a nomination for, or two nominations for the delegate primary position? Councillor Pereira and Councillor Eves. Are there any further nominations? No further nominations. There's no secondary delegate for the Audit and Risk Committee. So we'll now move on to the Australian Local Government Women's Association, ALGWA, where we have a primary and a secondary. Do we have a primary delegate for this association? Councillor Dazon, any other nominations? No other nominations, thank you. And do we have a secondary delegate nomination for ALGWA? Councillor Pereira, no further nominations. Thank you, councillors. We'll now move to the CEO Employment and Remuneration Committee, where we have three delegate primary positions. One, as noted, is the Mayor. The other is the Deputy Mayor. So we have one additional primary delegate to appoint. Councillors, do we have a primary delegate nomination? Got Councillor Ambros. Any other nominations? No other nominations. Thank you. So we'll now move to the delegate secondary position. Councillors, there is an opportunity for two delegates for this position. Do we have any nominations? Councillor Taylor and Councillor Rowe. Any further nominations? No further nominations. Thank you, councillors. For the Connected Libraries position, I'll note that Councillor Scott Dowling is the delegate for that for the 4-year term, as it's a directorship position which he has taken carriage of this year and will do so for the following 3 years. There's no delegate secondary for that board either. We'll move now to the Greater South East Melbourne Alliance. The primary delegate for that committee is the Mayor, and then we have a secondary delegate. Do we have a nomination for the secondary delegate? Councillor Ross, any further nominations? No further nominations. We'll now move to the Local Government Mayoral Task Force Supporting People Seeking Asylum, Back Your Neighbour. The primary delegate for that as a mayoral task force is the mayor, and then we also have a secondary delegate for that. Councillors, do we have a nomination? Councillor Perry, any further nominations? No further nominations, thank you. We'll now move to the Metropolitan Transport Forum, where we have a primary and a secondary. Do we have a primary delegate nomination? Councillor Walter. Councillors, are there any other nominations? No further nominations. And we also have a secondary delegate there. Councillors, do we have a nomination? Councillor Ross. Thank you, Councillor Ross. Any further nominations? No further nominations. We will now move to the Municipal Association of Victoria. We have a primary delegate, and I would like to nominate myself for that. Councillors, do we have any other nominations for MAV? Councillor Rowe? Councillor Rowe, so that's for the primary delegate position? So, no? Thank you, Councillor Rowe. And no further nominations for the primary delegate position? No. The second position is the secondary delegate. Councillors, do we have a nomination? Councillor Crowther. Any further nominations? No further nominations. Thank you, Councillor Crowther. We'll now move to the National Growth Areas Alliance, the NGAA, where the mayor is the primary delegate, but we've also got the opportunity for a secondary delegate position. Councillors, do we have a secondary delegate? Councillor Ross. Any other nominations? No further nominations. Thank you. The next alliance or association is the South East Council's Climate Change Alliance, SECA, where the primary delegate is the mayor. And then we also have the position of a secondary delegate. Do we have a secondary delegate to nominate for that position? Councillor Rowe. Thank you, Councillor Rowe. Are there any other nominations? No further nominations. Thank you. We'll now move to the Victorian Local Government Association, VLGA. Councillors, do we have a primary delegate nomination for that position? Councillor Ambros, thank you. Any further nominations? No, so we'll move now. Oh,
Councillor Dowling.
Councillor Dowling, is that for the primary or the secondary? Thank you, Councillor Dowling. We'll move now to the secondary delegate. Councillor Dowling, nominating. Any further nominations? No further nominations. Thank you, councillors. And the final committee is the Western Port Biosphere Foundation. Councillors, do we have a primary delegate for that position? Councillor Dazon, any further nominations? No. And for the secondary delegate position, do we have a nomination? Councillor Walter. Thank you, Councillor Walter. Any further nominations? No. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. That fills all the positions of our delegate committees. So noting that, we will now put the recommendation
Mover and seconder.
on the screen, and we will require a mover and a seconder for that. Councillors, do we have, if you need a moment to take it in, because we did work through that, but do we have a mover for the recommendation? Councillor Ambros, and a seconder, Councillor Ross. Does anyone like to speak against the recommendation as noted on the screen? No. We'll now put that to a vote. All councillors in favour, please raise your hand. Thank you, councillors. That's carried past unanimously. Thank you. All right. Thank you, councillors. We'll now move to, I think, I just need to get an agenda.
That's it. And just remind councillors to stay.
We'll now move to 5.1, just noting contracts as under the S5 instrument of delegation, as noted in the council agenda. There's no debate or report for that. It's noted. 5.2 is similarly, it's the contributions plan expenditure as part of our S5 instrument of delegations, as noted in the agenda. There's no urgent business, so on that note, I will complete this annual council meeting. Thank you, councillors. Thank you.